we're at 46 days and counting. I would love to talk to y'all about something else, but here we are waiting. I think that what has been decided is the judge has been assigned to the case, and then Attorney General Mays. I think we're all hoping that the House, that Speaker Johnson is going to read the tea leaves and get to work, swear me in, so we don't have to go seek judicial support in him doing his job. But that's sort of where we are. I think there's going to be perhaps a request this next week to expedite a decision, but at this point, I think we're all hoping that the House will reopen.
Well, Congresswoman, do you have any confidence, given what we've seen come out of Washington lately, that if the court comes back and says you must be sworn in, that the Speaker will actually listen to the court?
I don't. I think that he'll dig his heels. I mean, let's be real. I mean, this administration, it doesn't really matter what court decisions come down, what the rule of law is. They get to make their own decisions. That's sort of what their MO has been. And so it is very frustrating. So that's why I keep saying my hope is that we look at this CR. It's only been extended. I mean, it was only written through the 21st of November.
Right,
so at some point, we have to get to work.
I mean, at this point, y'all might as well get another CR because through November is like tomorrow.
Right.
I want to play some sound from your future colleague, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is on your side, which is, a little surprising to folks, I think.
I wonder how you feel about someone like Adelita Grijalva, who, I mean, you say you can't work for your district because the House is out of session. She won her election 6 weeks ago and still has not been sworn in.
She should be sworn in.
Point blank.
Yep.
You haven't started yet, so I'm not going to get you into trouble with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't want to ask you what you think behind that, but I do wonder if if you're hearing from other Republicans who maybe are with Marjorie Taylor Greene and you and a lot of the Democrats, which is we need to at least bring ourselves back to Washington, D.C. so we can swear you in and actually get to doing the work of the American people, even if the shutdown is still going on.
I think regardless of party, if I were a Republican, I would have been sworn in already. I mean, I think everybody knows that. And we've had several Republicans come out publicly and say, it's crazy. Us waiting this long is crazy. You should have been sworn in a long time ago. There have been several, over 10 pro forma sessions that I could have been easily sworn in any of those. And I think because, Speaker Johnson painted himself into a corner with saying, well, we won't do it. Like I'm just this sort of, in this crazy congressional limbo that, he made the statement that we're not going to swear her in until we reopen and have a regular legislative session, that I'm stuck in this this box that he created.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Speaker Mike Johnson at all during the 6 weeks?
No.
Okay.
No, I called twice because I didn't know what the protocol was. So the first time I get there, I'm like, oh, so how do we schedule, how do we do this? So I called, left a message, left another message, sent a letter. And then Leader Jeffries, very shortly after I won my election, started lobbying and pushing for us to get a date. And it sort of now that we have a legal case, I don't really think we should have a face-to-face conversation at this point.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure that everything will be taken out of context, regardless of what's said.
I'm wondering if you could paint us a little bit of a picture of what you're hearing from your constituents while you're in this limbo and what the difference might be in terms of the work you can get done as a Congresswoman-elect versus an actual sworn-in member, especially during a time where, yes, the government is shut down, but constituents might need more attention and help than usual because of the lack of services that they might be receiving because of the shutdown.
Representative Stalwell said it, and it sort of hurt my soul a little bit, but it's true. I don't have constituents until I'm sworn in. I have people that I can help as an everyday person, but I won an election. I have no office. I have no budget. I have no way of onboarding staff until we actually get sworn in. We can't even access federal databases. I mean, think about it. So the things that I'm doing are things that I've done. I was giving out food boxes, going and talking to people about the effects of this shutdown. I mean, I'm trying to provide resources as Adelita Grijalva, your neighbor, and someone who's been invested in this community for a very long time. But I don't have any official role right now other than I won an election.
Congresswoman-elect, you represent a border district, or you will, once you're sworn in,
Allegedly.
represent a border district. You'll be the first Latina member of Congress from Arizona once Mike Johnson swears you in. What's your reaction to the extreme immigration enforcement from the administration? And I wonder how you think it played in Tuesday's election results.
It's inhumane and cruel. And I think that's the design of this administration and how they are scapegoating our immigrant communities. It played a huge role. I think people are seeing themselves in the families that are being separated. They're seeing themselves in the people that are working class, veterans that have been deported, citizens that have been deported. And so when you look at how cruel this policy has been, people really appreciate that many of us are only 1 or 2 generations away from the people that are being targeted by this administration. And respectfully, at this point, they can target anyone that looks different. Mm-hmm. If you speak with an accent, if you're driving if you're driving a truck that looks like you might be a worker, they can pull you over. And that's what they're doing here. We have the 3 ports of entry with Mexico and Arizona in CD7. We have a lot of border communities, and they are some of the safest, most beautiful communities there are. And we're all sick of being targeted by this administration and other people that want to benefit from making it seem as if we are in this, crisis of criminality, which is not true.
Absolutely. I mean, the idea that, and Rep-elect Grijalva is in a very unique situation because in this moment, those constituent services should still be going at least for the 18th Congressional District. But once there was someone who was elected, everything stopped for Rep-elect Grijalva, right? So now her constituents literally have absolutely nothing. Like, there's no staff that can do any work. They have her to say she's rep-elect, but there's nothing she can do. She can't log into systems. She barely is in an office, so she can't be opening cases so that once the government opens, that her staff can kind of deal with those things. It is really sad. And here's the other kicker to this, right? Let's say, our speaker decided to grow a spine and actually go ahead and swear in Rep-elect Grijalva. Well, ultimately, that means that we have the 218 signatures that we need for the discharge petition. But since we still aren't in session, it's not like a bill can come to the floor. We have no bills that are hitting the floor anyway. So ultimately, those 2 things are going to happen at the same time, no matter what. So right now, why don't you at least try to look like you're serious about your job and look like you are doing the work of the people and not look like a petulant child and swear her in? Because at the end of the day, because you've decided to avoid having us in session, we can't take a vote on a bill anyway.
Yeah, and the other thing is just bring back Congress into session. I can't figure out, it's very hard to tell because he does these press conferences every day, which sort of hits his talking points, says that he hasn't seen anything in the news, blames the Democrats. What the position is, he doesn't want to bring you back from recess because then he has to swear in Grijalva, or he doesn't want to swear in Grijalva because he doesn't want to bring you back to, I don't know. But the point being, it's 9 weeks now? It's 1/10 of the term she was elected to will have been spent on ice.
Yeah.
Because Mike Johnson doesn't think anyone in the House of Representatives should work.
Yeah, it is absolutely astounding. And I want people to pay attention. When you go and you hit those booths come the midterms, think about which party decided that it was okay to literally be on vacation while it is that people were going hungry in the streets of America.